Yay, yay, yay. All right, everybody, we got record on, right? You're
Yep.
good. Okay, so we're excited. Sorry for the confusion. We know that we bumped it back to Sunday, and then yesterday everybody's like, "Are you going to do your Sunday night?" And then it was crazy awesome, so we pushed it back to today. So thanks for being patient, guys. But everybody keeps asking if we're going to keep doing these. So yes, we're going to keep doing these, and we'll figure out if we just do replays if we're not available. But there was just too much good information yesterday, so we knew we had to share those tips from you. But one of the things that a few of the guests that I have on were actually in the room in that training, in that Super Sunday training, which was amazing. And so I wanted them to kind of share tonight. So we have Patrice on, Amanda, Amy, and Rachel. So I'll have them kind of pull in, but there was a lot of information, and it was great because it flowed such a good day. So one thing that I want you guys to do is, if you have it, and maybe some of you don't know, but you can actually purchase that live stream for $19 and watch it for 30 days. It's available for 30 days. So that's something that you can log into your eSuite and actually do. And I would recommend doing that. So even though me and Joel were there, we're going to go back and we're going to watch the replay. And what a great thing to be able to write notes down and just kind of sit and take in what everything was said. But with that, there was a lot of information, like I said. So
How many of you watched it with the live stream or at a watch party? Awesome. Bunch of good hands going up. That's awesome. You guys are amazing. So excited because that means you have it, which means you can go back and watch it again. The one thing that I know about this, and I kind of talk about this on the social media stuff and going with leadership stuff, is you can watch something once and take down notes. But while you're trying to write down notes, you miss something completely different. So when you go back through and you listen to it again, you're going to hear things that you never even heard the first time. And then even the third time, you're going to catch something. It is unbelievable how going back over stuff actually cements everything that you learn.
Yep. Like Steve said, the replay should be up soon. So thanks for putting that stuff in there. And if you guys did watch the replay and something stood out to you as an aha, share that in the comments tonight so people can see that, because there was so many good ones. So something that I'm going to have jump on right away is, Patrice, can you unmute yourself and join us?
Hi.
There you are. Okay, so for those of you that may not know Patrice is a presidential diamond. So tell them how long you've been with the company, but who you are. And I know you're pushing for ambassador. So I appreciate you being on tonight. But
And she was my Oprah. She was the host of our panel. She did so awesome.
Thank you so much. So I'm Patrice Garrison. I've been in for almost 7 years. And just a little bit about me, came in for student loan debt and found my purpose. So this is what I love to do. I'm able to serve. I'm able to grow. And I get paid for it. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So I know you and Joel had a great panel. We heard like a lot of the ahas came from your panel because, me and Joel like to have a little competition on like who wins. And he's like, my panel won.
I already told Patrice going into this we were going to have the best panel ever. And did I disappoint you? No.
So, I know that, but what I want you to share is, maybe it is something from your panel, but was there something that just really stood out to you over the day?
Yes. So our panel was awesome. Everyone's panel was awesome. But I wanted to take notes, again, outside of our panel, because I can be biased. That's fun. But I did take away the fact that in this moment, it's the 25th, reruns just ran, everyone's pushing, but I got the reminder to not forget about the people. So the retention panel was what stood out to me. I never want to be, oh, I'm a box girl. I'm just filling this box and it's just this person to get me to a fast start. It really humbled me to remember that, you know what, I like one of my customers, the day after I enrolled her, she was at the ER with her daughter. And I did stop my day and say, hey, is your daughter okay? And that's truly who I am. But when you're pushing for a promotion, you can forget to be a person. You can forget to send that voice memo or text message to say, is everything okay? Are you guys fine? And even for my potentials, I'll see life happening for them. And I'm like, well, I don't want to bother them. No, go say something. Ask them, are they okay? Give them a prayer. I've sent voice memo prayers for people in less busy seasons, but I can't forget to be a full servant of God, even when I'm looking for a promotion.
Mm-hmm. There was just so many good things. So I knew kind of having us all on, we were going to just pull something from that. And it kind of started off with Mike's panel, or kind of the kickoff. So it wasn't really his panel, but what he talked on was belief. And that was something that, how do we really believe? You know, you come into this blind, you're trusting the person that signed you up. So you've believed a little bit, but maybe you're not quite all there. So how do we really pour that belief in to gather those customers, to gather those distributors, to go up the ranks and stuff? And I think one of the best things that, again, reminded me of why our company is called It Works was the results panel. Like, seeing people's results and not judging somebody from what they look like now, because we don't know where they came from, and seeing all the different sizes and ages and everything from the results panel really stuck out to me, you know. And then making sure that we're taking care of them. That kind of goes hand in hand, Patrice. Like, yes, we want to make sure that they're getting the results, because all of a sudden, say that you are texting them, you can take screenshots of those text messages, guys. Like, oh my gosh, I love how I feel. I'm down 20 pounds with the shake, the cleanse, the thermal fight, or whatever the products they are doing. So that was a great reminder of, if we don't ask them, they may forget, or they're just going to go on and we don't know the results that they're getting. So something like that stood out to you at all, Patrice?
Yes, for sure. So for me, it was a reminder not to prejudge. And that panel was that reminder. We did a state fair here in Baltimore a couple years ago, and there was like an 81-year-old man who walked past our table, and we did not offer him samples. And I'm still to this day like, what was I thinking? And he stopped. He said, what is this? And I said, oh, and I gave him the whole spiel. He said, I have 2 grandsons that just had gastric surgery, and they really need something like this. So in this month in push, there might be like, you know, an older coworker or older family member who you're like, you know what, no way they want to order, you know, a wrap or something like that. And we can't forget that we have something so special, and we can't decide if they need this, or, you know, if it's the right time for it. Maybe someone said no 6 months ago, and just hearing, I mean, she's a truck driver, you know, I don't think I ever blitz a truck driver.
No.
Right, I'd be richer. So you just can't forget. So that was that reminder for me that fear will sink in sometimes this time of month, because you're like, oh, I'm so close. Let me just don't forget to offer it to everyone and let them tell you what they need.
I almost feel like we should go to truck stops, you know, like the energy sticks, like it's good for them with the B12, the B6. Like there was a lot. I think, you know, I have Mama B's voice messaging tip down, because, you know, some of us, we do this and we get into some of the habits of not asking or forgetting some of the simple things that people that are promoting are doing. And she was determined, right? She's focused on where she was going. She was still getting her pedicures, and she would go in there. She would pretend that she was talking to somebody on the phone, you guys, like, and voice messaging them and being like, oh my gosh, I went from a size 22 to whatever, size 18. You know, I'm down 2 more pant sizes, and all the heads in the pedicure area, they'd all turn to her. And I thought, I need to start doing that. So that was one of those aha moments for me, was, gal, it is something like that. Or going, you know, again, I didn't have the money when me and Joel joined, but I would make myself get out. I would shop, but I wouldn't buy anything. It was to get in front of the retail people that were working, the employees, because they don't want to work retail forever. Joel did that. And we know you don't get home till 10, 11 o'clock at night sometimes doing retail. So why not going in there and just talking about, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I went down a size, and it's from the company that I'm with. They're going to start asking you, well, what are you doing? You know, little things like that.
And one of the things that I heard over the weekend, which wasn't from stage, it was actually after, I was messaged by somebody, and they said, I don't see a lot of people like me on stage. And I kind of thought about it for a second, and there's 2 ways you can look at that. You can go, oh, there's not somebody that looks like me out there. There's not a teacher up there. There's not an older person in my demographic up there. You know, there's not a white person, a black person, a Chinese person, a Hispanic person. there's not somebody that looks like me up there. So you can look at that as a negative and go, oh, I don't relate with anybody on that panel. Or you can go, oh my gosh, this market is so wide open because I know everybody like me and I need to go sign them all up and start my own club. That was kind of the mindset that people were having. And I was just blown away by that whole statement that I was just like, if you don't see what your representation is up there, you are going to be the representation because you're going to be the one that knocks it out of the park. And I just love that. And that got me fired up.
I didn't know that. So see, sometimes it's staying after these events that we learn a lot. You know, you just never know where one tip comes in that could completely change your business. You know, that was for me when I went to my first event. There was people up there and I'm like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. You know, like it's crazy what we can do from this. So, Patrice, any other thing that just really stood out to you that you're just like, this is on my heart and I really wanted to share this?
So the one thing that I got from the end, at the end of the whole like experience was that there are so many things left to do. Like you worked the whole month. I worked hard this month. Super proud so far, but guess what? When you get to an event, someone gives you that game changer tip, and me and Corey looked at each other. We're like, we haven't even scratched the surface of this month. You know, there are thank you cards that can still go out to customers with a green sample. It might get there by the 27th, right? Just in time for them to try it, become, you know, a triple threat customer from a hair, skin, nails. Like there's so much left to do. So I know, you know, we can be like, we're pushing and we're going. Just dig deeper. Your customers, your existing customers, we saw the life-changing results panel, like they got such bomb results and they combined products, right? So if you had that customer earlier this month that got that one product, you still have time to check back in and say, you know what, you're doing great. Do you want to lose weight faster? You know, do you want to up the ante? And that's how you really bring it home this time of month.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, this is still, I feel like a whole week left, really. We have 6 full days and, you know, anything can happen when you guys pulling out those charts, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the end. But yeah, lots of time. So we want to push through this. I know there was people that were like, we just want you on, like share something. So I appreciate you jumping on last minute. Like, I'm just like, I need a couple people that just wanted to share a little bit. So I appreciate you for jumping on, Patrice, and sharing. And we're so proud of you for just leveling up and keep on going. I just love it. So I'm going to pull up Rachel. Rachel, are you on?
I see Rachel down in the corner.
Okay, she's unmuted. So Rachel just promoted to triple diamond last month. And so, you know, her and her team are on fire. And something that stood out to me this past weekend too, again, was when you stay close to the fire, you become the fire. And, you know, she had a lot of her team there with her. And so she's really teaching them stay close to the fire because now her team has become the fire. And so it's just going to rise everybody right up. So that is important. So Rachel, did you have, I know I told you guys to give me a script or something, but did you have something that really stood out to you as an aha today?
Well, a lot of things did, but one of the things that really did stand out to me was if you're not consistent, you lose the right to say it doesn't work. And Mike Patillo said that. And I was like, I can't tell you all how many times that I would sit in my business, because I've been in this business for 5 years, and I'm like, man, it's just not working. This sucks. And, have like an attitude and everything. And I'm like, you're not being consistent. And then he said that it's like, you lose the right. Like, you completely lose the right if you're not being consistent. Because I've been consistent in this business and saw amazing results. But I've also been on the other side of the fence where I wasn't consistent. And I like to play the blame game because, sometimes it's fun to play the blame game. It makes you feel really good temporarily, but the long term, it doesn't. So that was like the biggest thing that like stood out to me. And that consistent, hold on, I took a note. I didn't write it down on a piece of paper, but I put it on my phone. But it was just like, consistent action doesn't lead to like consistent results, but like it will get you to where you want to be.
That's good.
Yeah. And those are like the big things like stood out to me. And then goal focus versus growth focused. Because again, like for me, I would stay goal focused. Like I was like, oh, I'm going diamond. This is great. I'm diamond. And I'm like, great. And I just sat there and I did nothing. Like legit, did nothing. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. But like now, like I'm like, okay, cool. Like I went double. All right, let's go triple. Okay, I'm like, all right, we're going triple. But now we're charting for presidential. And I'm like, like you just have to continue to have that because, well, yeah, Joel, you were like talking about that. Just like growth, it doesn't have an end, but a goal does. So those are the ones that like this blew my mind.
Okay, Joel. That's so good. So I did hear this because, we're at the month end. So I know everybody's always like, how can we get some last minute, like jumps in volumes? What are we doing? And I know with Rachel, again, a lot of it came down to belief and mindset. This is where it's at. And you know what, if we're not offering or saying something, we're just not going to get what we want. So Rachel, I know you do this. You may do a cleanse post and you may get all their information. I want you to kind of elaborate on this, but when you are posting about that, you're actually getting them to order about 3 products. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So share that because you guys take notes on this because this is such a good thing to go from a 30 BV customer or an order to almost 100 BV. So, if you needed $400 in customer orders to promote up to Ruby or whatever that you're going for, Emerald or Diamond, there's 4 customers that you could get from just using something like this. So, Rach, just kind of share on that. Little kitty.
Franklin.
Nothing like Franklin cat butt.
Okay, so
he's a star.
So what I do is, like I'm talking to them, I tell them about the cleanse, I tell them about the loyal customer program because I think it's really awesome. You want me to tell you like the wording or like when I just upsell?
Yeah. So do the wording and then the upsell.
Okay. Do you want me to just put it in the chat?
I'll have you put it in the chat. So put it in the chat and then I'll go to somebody else. But this is such a game. I think this is a game-changing conversation for people. And this can be for any of you guys. Okay. So brand new, just ask it, just do these things. And if you don't know how to help answer the question, you've got to go to your sponsor. You've got to go to your team page or whatever. But the main thing is we were all scared, I think, to post or to ask. But if you're not asking the question, the answer is always going to be no. So worst case, I know that we'll have a customer with, a cleanse order, but you may have 100 BV in customer orders. So perfect. Make sure you guys copy these. But did you have anything else from this weekend?
I think just that closeness. I never understood the importance of getting to events. People used to tell me to get to events, but I just didn't see the point. I'm like, well, I don't really have the time. I really want to go hang out with people that I don't really know. But like, what I can tell you all is that like with this, like people are just really nice. Like, I don't know. I feel like in real life, like, like people, like if you like wave to and you say hi, like they kind of look at you like, you're like, do I know you? But like here, like everybody's just so nice and inviting. And when you're just surrounded by just this positivity and people who are going where you want to go, it is the most empowering feeling in the world. Like you feel like nothing can stomp on your dreams. And then you just have to like remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just hold on to getting there.
And you guys really made it a point to make sure that you're going to the next event. Like they went ahead and they got their tickets for the next one. So, does staying on Zooms, does staying on calls, is that important? Yes. Showing up every single day is such an important thing. And if you want to be, a top leader, even somebody that wants to make $500 a month, you got to show up. And I think that that's really what this is about, is just making that commitment to yourself to show up every single day. I know that I'm tired. Patrice tired. Rachel's tired. We're all tired. We were traveling, but we're showing up, and it doesn't matter if it's for one person or 2,000 people. We're going to consistently show up. And I know what that does long-term. And that's what I want you to start realizing. If you're new on this and you're watching and you're like, I really want to do this, be consistent, be disciplined, and then take these notes down and start duplicating what we're sharing, and duplicate it over and over and as fast as you can, because that builds confidence. And I love that. I think that's the main thing, is we just have to do it and not be scared to do it, because you're going to be scared, but why not be scared fast? Like, you'll get over it quick. Amy or Amanda, are you on?
Yes.
Thanks, Rachel.
Yay, thank you, Rachel. I'll thank you guys all at the end too. Oh, that's Amy. Okay, I guess I'll start with you, Amy, because I see your face.
Okay.
So, Amy, did you go triple yet? She is like,
Almost.
so like hundreds probably away from triple, right?
She's like, why am I on this Zoom? I gotta promote.
But again, it's one that has really stayed consistent. She's learned, and I think this is something that people are like, oh my gosh, she's going triple diamond, like her team's on fire. Well, it took her being consistent and disciplined, and she found the people that want to do it with her now. And so I'm super proud of you. I've seen the leader that you've just grown into, and so it's super exciting and can't wait. I know Amanda's excited to shout you out when you go triple too, but you're crushing it. You're a top enroller. So you were on stage at Asheville, and so everybody wants to know, what do you do, Amy? What do you do to be a top enroller?
Honestly, like, I tell people this all the time. I'm just consistent. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's so simple. Like, you have to be consistent every single day and work your business every single day, not like 3 times a week or 2 times a week. Or like, if you're doing a host to post, you can't just ask like if you're really trying to go triple, like, you can't ask like 30 people a day. You have to ask like 50 to 100 people a day to do you a favor and to host a post for you. Like, you have to be really consistent. You have to really stay in contact with your team too, because not only are you going to get there, but you also need to get your team there and help them get to the top too, because it's not about you. It's also about your team too. So I just think that's really important. Just like, stay consistent. What Rachel said, like that quote that Mike Patillo said, like, it stuck out to me so much. And even on stage, I said, like, consistency is key. Like, I just say it all the time, and I tell my team all the time too. And I have to keep saying it until they actually listen to me.
You have to consistently say it until they consistently get it.
Yes. And that was really a theme this past weekend, was belief, results, consistency, staying close to that fire. So I know that you've been consistent, and I think that this is the numbers people need to hear. I know that I'm going to work. And so people think that I don't work. I think they just think I just sit back and I do nothing, but I am messaging. I am talking to people daily. And so just like Amy said, it's not like 5 people a day. This is a business. And so it may take you 100 people to get maybe 1. And then the next day you may talk to 50 people and you may get 10. We don't know what those numbers are going to be, but if you set your goal to reach out to 50 people a day minimum, like, your results are going to be better. So I really want you to get in the habit of making sure you're doing that right off the bat, because then you can be like, oh my gosh, I can gauge a little bit.
Now, I do want to point out here too, for all of you that are on here that are newbies, don't freak out at this, because we're telling you things and you're like, oh my gosh, that seems like so much. Mm-hmm. Start with 5. 5 to 10 will get you to your Ruby promotion. It'll get you through to your Emerald promotion. But just understand that the better at this that you get, and the longer you do it, the more of it you are able to do. And that's where the consistency and the persistency part starts to pay off. You know, Amy wasn't out the box messaging 100 people a day on host to posts 2 days after she joined. So neither should you.
Yeah, you should. I'm going to back up on Joel. If somebody said to me today to do that because things are changed, I would do it.
But you haven't let me finish yet.
Out there.
But here's the thing. How badly do you want it?
That is true. Yes.
That is the biggest determiner of how much of this you're going to do. This business loves hard workers and it loves speed. So if you want to get paid a lot, do more work than you ever thought possible. Because the best part about this industry and about this business and about it works is it pays you in direct proportion for the amount of work that you do. Think about that. If you were a teacher and you got a salary, because we hear this from Cammie all the time, and we heard this from Mark. Mark was capped out as his salary as a coach and as a teacher. Until he found this industry and this business, he wasn't ever getting paid what he was actually worth. You guys are all millionaires in the making, and I know that because you're here. You just have to put the work in that you know that you're going to get paid for.
So, Amy, like right now where you're at, I know you've been working hard. You know, I want somebody to know it is work. It is worth it. Because like I just said, if I came in knowing, gosh, I want to get there. I know Triple Diamond's not going to happen, you know, in a day, but I would love to start off the gate, just learning the message. How do I do this to get better? Because if you can do it quicker, you're just going to get better. So, what does your day or hour look like? So when you're working, how many messages do you do an hour on Facebook and Instagram?
Well, I can say that I send out anywhere between 50 to 100 host posts a day. I don't know if like it's in that hour, but like I get it most of done because I do power hours, but I get it mostly done within that hour. So like 50 to 100 people a day. But then my follow-ups are like crazy. Like I always follow up with people. Like it has to be like, I don't count it, but like it has to be like 60 plus people a day that I follow up with every single day. So, yeah, so I mean, if someone on my team, I know someone on my team right now, I see, she asked me like, you know, I really just want to get to the top. Like, this is my second time in, like, what do I do? And I told her straight up, okay, so we're going to do host to post. You're going to send out at least 50 a day. Like, this is what you're doing, because she wants to get to the top, and I'm going to tell her like exactly what to do. So like what Joel said, it depends on like how fast you want to, or how badly you want it. I'm going to tell you like exactly what to do.
Do you have like a host to post that you have that, and you've probably done this in the Power Hour, or something that you're like, this was an aha for me, or this is something that works for me? Can you share that? Or did Amanda not say to share that, or not ask you? I didn't text you. Did you put in comments or no?
Like what my host to post is?
Yeah. So is it the same host to post, or do you switch it up?
I've been doing coffee host to post. So that's what I've been doing. But when I started I started last April. That's when I was like really consistent. So it's about to be a year. I started with the cleanse, which is really great too. But I like the coffee now a lot because I drink it myself. So I know like how it reacts on me and stuff like that. So I think it's really important to also, like, this ties into using the products too, because you need to use the products to like tell your personal experience to your potentials. And I think it's easier for me to upsell too, like drinking it daily and also adding the cleanse in too. So.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of what one of the girls on the panel said about, you know, we know, so some of you may not know, but a bag of coffee is $65 and there's 15 in that. And as a loyal customer, they can get it for $39 for the 15 packet, but she doesn't offer that. She's actually giving the retail price of 2 bags of coffee and then letting them know this is the loyal customer pricing for 2 bags of coffee, which the BV is going to be higher, right? Because why wouldn't we want somebody to get the full month's worth of coffee? So that was kind of something for me that I was like, I've always just done like the 3 to get the 1, you know, free, but what a great thing for me to just split it up and just offer the month and then upsell with the chocolate greens, because that's a 30-day packet. So, you know, I've been in for a long time, guys, for 10 years, and I'm still learning and growing. And those are those tips that, you know, really stood out. And I know you've got some great personal results using the product too. So do you send or say your results to people?
Yeah. So whenever I'm talking to a potential and, you know, they're like on the fence about it, I don't really send them my results right away. But if they're like on the fence about it, I'll be like, hey, look, I want to send you my results. And like, usually like it sells right away. Cause like they see my results and they're like, wow, like that's amazing. Like I want it. So I feel like always having your personal results is really good.
You guys, I can't say this enough. If you really want to make money, get results. # results ready. Go for it. Commit to yourself, you guys. You can do something for 21 days. My before and afters just got corporate approved. I'm so happy. So I just got it when I walked in today. So I can share that, and you guys can share my I'm gonna say skinny self now, but we all go through seasons of life, so I'm human, but I needed to show a little bit of before so I could have a great after. So you guys can use that. But that, I'm telling you, people are like, what are you using? And I've gotten so many customers, and I can text them my personal results, and now that they're corporate approved. And so that's a huge key, guys. That's another aha that we saw constantly throughout the weekend was people that got their personal results, you're going to do more. If you're new, what do? Do not wait. You can share, and you can share your uplines. You can share the stories that are working, but I would say jump right in, go after some products. I would say get the cleanse, because most people get immediate results with the cleanse. The wraps, those are such a hot product, you guys. Like, we don't share enough about that, but that's an instant result. So you can get results within 45 minutes consistently. Use those over the next 72 hours again and start sharing those, right? So we have product for you guys right off the gate, newbies, that you should be jumping in and then getting your results. Even if you do a cleanse and you show your bloat before and after, send that into corporate. Like, that's something, if you don't know, make sure you ask on the team page how to get these corporate approved, because that's going to do so much for you. So I would challenge you, if you're like, I really am all in, go order products that are going to get you results ready, that are going to get your before and afters to help you make even more money. Thank you, Amy, for being on. Like, I appreciate you guys. I know you didn't get a whole lot. Hold on. When upselling, what works for me is easier to start with a bigger pack and work your way down. That's a great thing too. Why not offer that? So that's from Allie, and I know that she went double diamond last month. So she is amazing at the same thing as offering. They don't know what they don't know. So if this is the pack that we're talking about and they want results, they're going to order it. So that's a great thing to start talking about. So on my before and after, there's 4 products. So I have a feeling in it's 21 days, people are going to want exactly what I want or what I did, right? So make sure that you're doing that. And I know that I think it's Amy's on here. I know she's going to be selling bags of coffee even more than just one now, because I know she's had great results. So that is awesome. You did a great job on stage. Start practicing, because you're going to be up there a whole lot more, and I can't wait. Amanda, can you jump on for a second? Thanks, Amy. Hi. So Amanda just went triple diamond last month, you guys. Super excited for her.
I just have a random question. Like, are you guys on the opposite sides of those walls?
She's downstairs.
For those of you that didn't know, they are sisters.
Yes, they are. They are sisters, and both like super competitive, super excited for each other. And I love that. But I've watched Amanda grow, and just a lot for her was mindset, I think. All of a sudden I just saw like a light bulb come on, and she's like turned out all like, I'm going for it, and you're doing it.
So with the color personalities, when I first met Amanda, I thought she was like 100% yellow. Just yellow, blue, loved being around people, just love being around people. And like in the last 9 months, she's been all red. So I don't know what happened, or what, if there was just this one moment that just flipped a switch, but she's like 110% red now.
No, there's blue in there. There's some blue. But anyway, so I know that you always go to events. Like, you're a face that you show up constantly. And I know that you girls get stuff from these events. So what did you get out of this weekend?
So much. Like, everything that Rachel said, because me and her, we were all texting before. We're like, what are you going to say? I'm like, I don't know. But I think one of the biggest things too was like, to kind of what you said, like mindset, like belief in yourself. Like, I think Mike was talking about it. Like, yeah, you have to believe number one in the business because, I mean, not number one. Wait, is it? Yeah.
Believe
Well,
it.
you have to believe in the business. Obviously, we have 18 years. Like, it obviously works. People are making money. Like, hello. The products obviously work because we wouldn't be in business as long as the products didn't work. But you have to have belief in yourself, or yeah, you have to have belief in yourself too. Like, it's not just belief in the products and belief in the business. You have to believe in yourself. And I think, like, for me, like, that was like, that's so true. But I always tell my team, like, you have to believe in the products and you have to believe in the business. But, and I do talk about believing in yourself, but I never thought like that belief in I never, like, I guess, like, told them like straight up, like, it's really the most important thing is you have to believe in yourself too. Like, that's the most important thing. So that really stuck out to me when he was talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that stuck out to me too, because like that happened for me. Like, I always believed in myself. Like, I never ever thought, like, even like I stayed double for how many years? Was it like 3 years I was double? Like, that's a long time to stay double. A lot of people would have quit by then, but I was like, I know I can do this. Like, I don't care what you say. And like, I know Joel said that he thinks I was like blue and like, yellow and stuff, but I'm super competitive. No, like, inside I'm competitive. I don't like losing. Like, it doesn't matter if it takes me 10 years, I will do it. I don't care. I will like break the bank to go to every single event because I know that it's going to help me in the future. I don't care. And that's why you guys always see me at events. Like, I don't care risking that because I know that this is going to help me become successful. So that's why I go to all these events. Like Stephanie said, she always sees me at events.
You guys, she's on fire. Can you see her like coming through like the computer? Like, I love it. She's contagious.
The Zoom is hot.
And it transfers. And I think what I recognized at the event is you can create excitement and momentum. And it's all by our voice, our smile, leaning in. Are we using our hands? Are we excited for people? And that was something that I wanted people to know when I was on stage, how passionate I am, how excited I am. And that brought the energy up. And so when people are like, well, you make it look like this, because I am like this. I want to be around people that are going to lift me up, that are going to be inspiring, and that love to have fun. And Amanda is this person. So, and she wants success and she wants her team to have success. So, that was an aha, I think, for me is, yeah, I make some money. That would be boring if I talked like that, No, I make a lot of money. I decide what I wanted to do. It wasn't always like this. My life sucked and I changed it with an amazing company that gave us the vehicle, and they didn't judge me. They didn't look at where I came from. It wasn't my past. It was the now, and I get to decide what my story is. And like Amanda said, your mindset, the belief, where do you envision yourself, talking to yourself, voice messaging. I think Mike said that, put it in your phone. Like he says, I'm a sexy beast, and he puts it on play and he brushes his teeth. So if you're going for diamond, you need to say, I am diamond and it feels good. And this is what I'm going to do when I go diamond. I am double diamond, or whatever that is. And then play that. So does that, I know, Joel, does that impact for you? What does that do for you?
Well, the whole thing with belief too, we talk about this a lot is, if you don't have the belief yet for yourself, you can borrow it from us because of the fact that we believe in you sometimes more so than you believe in yourself. But here's the thing about borrowed belief. It's due with interest. So you have to pay up for that belief at some point, because if not, if you constantly borrow belief, you're going to become belief bankrupt. So there has to be a point, like with Amanda, where she all of a sudden got that belief. We had been speaking it into her, and all of a sudden it caught fire. And look at what it's done for her. Make sure that when you're on borrowed belief, you know that there is going to be an ignition moment where you take that and you go on fire and you pay it back 100-fold from there.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing is, borrow it so that you can give it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. I think that's a major key in that. And I know that you do a lot of social media. So what would you say, is when you're building your business, do you primarily do Facebook, Instagram? Like, what do you think that you do have the most success with? Stories? Like we haven't even talked on the social part of that. And I know, you and your sister do so much on social. So give me some tips that you see are so beneficial with social.
You have to be yourself. Like, you really have to be yourself, and you have to utilize stories, guys. You have to do that. Like, tell your story through Insta stories and Facebook stories. Be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. Be yourself, and do like little clips and videos. Like, show that you're making your coffee, and show that you're, going for a walk with your dog, or at the dog park. Like, I'm always there, or like that shows people like who you are. Like, if you're a funny person, show that you're funny. Like, if you have kids and they run around and they're just crazy and nuts, that's what you need to show. You're going to be connecting. You're going to help other moms who are following you connect with you. So you have to be yourself and show people who you are, and utilize like the Insta stories, post on Facebook and Instagram. If you're not posting on Facebook or Instagram, then your business isn't open. So you have to make sure you're posting. And if you're not, like for Instagram, I might not post every single day, but I'm always posting in my stories, and I'm always interacting. So if I can tell how many people are kind of on my profile by the views on my stories. So, because if I can tell, like if I'm not interacting, I'm like, oh my God, why do I only have X amount of like viewers? That's because I know I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So
let's elaborate on that a little bit, guys. This is something that I'm working on too, because again, I have strengths and there's things that I want to work on that I know can pull in so much more. Stories. Like she just said, you could do just a post on Instagram or a post on Facebook, but you don't know who's seeing it. And so what I've learned to love with Instagram and Facebook is what Amanda just said was when you do a story on Facebook or Instagram, you can see who's actually looking at that story. And this was something that I naturally did, that is because sometimes I'll accidentally click on somebody's story and I'm like, crap, I don't really know this. I don't care about this person. I'll X out. So that first slide that's shown, I don't necessarily look at who's looked at that. I look at maybe that third or fourth story slide to see who's looked at that, because they are watching you for sure. So you really should be engaging with them. Are they part of It Works or not? If they are not, you need to make sure that you're commenting on their posts, that you're liking, and that you're engaging. And if you need to, write it down on a piece of paper so that you can start going back to that person's Instagram name to be reminded of who they are. But so if you're seeing that, Amanda, people watching your Instagram story, do you message all of them?
I don't always message all of them, but I'll go in and make sure I interact with all of them. Because sometimes my stories aren't about like It Works. They're like, I'm at the dog park or something.
Right.
So I'll make sure I interact with them, and then like I'll interact with their stories. Because I notice when I'm going through people's stories and I'm interacting or I'm commenting like, oh, like, awesome, you're eating a salad that looks so good or something. I don't know. Like, it's like through how you can like, you can comment or through the stories. So I feel like that all helps with like even building a relationship. So you don't have to message people and be like, oh my God, I just think you're so pretty. Like, you don't have to do all of that. Like, interact.
I love it when I get those in my inbox. Joel, you're so pretty. I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah. That exactly. So yeah, you don't want to be uncomfortable, but you want to learn to practice. And it wasn't easy for me to start doing that, but I've learned to love it. And I shocked myself at how well that I started doing with those. And so that's something, again, start doing these things, because you're hearing, where are people getting it? It's stories. It's a lot of stories, and Facebook stories as well. The same thing that you can see that. How many slides, as they call it, through the story would you recommend putting up?
Okay. So me and Amy had this talk because I don't really have like a number that I do. I just have to make sure I have something. Like, I would say at least 4 or 5. But sometimes I'm like, oh no, it's just too good. I have to just keep doing it. And like, let's say it's the end of the month and I'm like, I need a bunch of loyal customers. I'm going to be blowing it up with before and after pictures. And success leaves clues. You have to do what successful people do. I look at some of the people who are super successful and sometimes they have like 20 stories. And I'm like, are people really watching it? But they're signing up people. So I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, and just like you said, I know when somebody's pushing, because you're posting more, you're interacting more. Like you've decided that you need this, and you just said it. You're doing stories, and it probably worked, didn't it? You got more customers, you got more volume, you got more people engaging. So that's it. If you want more, you do more. Like it just makes sense. So if you catch yourself where you're like, oh, I'm not feeling good at the amount that I brought in, you can change that, you guys. You can change that tonight and go, you know what? I'm going to go on because those stories last for 24 hours and create, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You could just, again, go and copy and look. I watch It Works International pages. I watch a lot of like Cami, everybody that I can, so I could take some of their photos and then look and kind of make them my own too, or even use theirs because they're pretty. You know, Instagram or International has done a great job with that, so that's something that I would do. Okay, so say that you do have that on there. They're not It Works, and you're like, okay, I've seen their name a couple times, maybe. Then you're going to go ahead and message them, right?
Sometimes I will message them and start a conversation with them and say, and like, but not always about It Works. It just like depends on my vibe. Like I'm not like fake about it. Like I'm not going to message like every single person and be like, hey, like you should totally join my team. And like, you're just like the gorgeous person ever. Like, no, like I'm like super real. Like if I think that person would be really awesome at what I do, I'm going to say like, hey, like your profile is like super amazing. Like obviously we've been following each other for a while. Like I think that you'd be amazing at what I do. Are you open to hearing more or something along those lines? Or if I really genuinely feel like I really like that, like, not that I don't like those people, but like, let's say like I'm like, there's this girl on my, that I follow. I've been following her for a year, like back and forth, and she has blonde hair and she's Asian. So like I talk to her, like she's my So that's building a relationship with people. Like, so it might not be always an It Works message, but it's a message that's going to eventually, someone's going to sign up eventually.
Yeah. So I'm looking through some of these comments, you guys. And so Amanda's building relationships. She's adding new people to her Facebook and Instagram daily. All of us should be doing that, having that interaction, doing polls for product, showing before and afters. But then also you can message 50 to 100 people on Host a Post. That doesn't need to be a, hey girl, I think you're pretty. This is where you're really looking for people to do Host a Post for you. And people are willing. I feel like it's easier to get people to say yes to that because you're not asking them to be part of your business or to be a customer. You're just like, hey, would you do this for me? You know, I could enter you to win, or it's a free product or whatever. And some people are just like, they're your actual friends. And could you do me a favor? I'm going for a big promotion and this would really help me out. And I'll send you over some free product or whatever, or something like that, or samples. So yes, so there is a kind of a difference. And that's something that we're probably going to do a little bit more of a over the next couple of weeks, probably in 2 weeks, more of just an Instagram, Facebook training, because I've recognized that people take a picture that should go on a story and they put it on their Facebook page. And so it's kind of the Instagram etiquette or Instagram basics that I'm proud that you guys want to do posting, but learning how to do the things where they need to go. And that's just going to help you have more success too. So that's probably what you do. I'm guessing, right, Amanda, is a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to. So it's like,
so you're doing all of that engagement, adding, and then also the Host a Post. That's what I wanted to clear up.
You have to do both. Like,
yep.
Like, because if you say like, hey, will you do me a favor? It doesn't feel as awkward when you know that you already like their pictures or commented, or, you know, you have to do it. Like, it doesn't feel, that's how you build a relationship. Like, yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Did you have anything else that, you know, that you were like, oh, I want to share this. This has really stuck out to me.
A lot of things stuck out to me, but one of the things it wasn't during the training. It was because I was there a day earlier, on Saturday. So I went to the Biltmore with you guys and did the wine tasting, and like afterwards we went to that place and we talked and like ate and whatever. And I just wanted to like let you guys know that corporate really does care about us. Like, they don't just do whatever. Like, they actually ask, like, you know, what our opinions are on things. So like, I thought that was really good. Like, I think that that's good that you ask people who are actually working the business, like, how they feel about like events and what we think that, like, you know, like what do we think corporate could do to better our businesses. And I think that's super important for everyone to know that like corporate cares about us.
Yeah. You mean that they don't, me and Joel are not pretending. Like, I promise. Like that, getting to these events, you guys, if you can get to smaller ones or even come and hang out into the hotels or the dinners, that's where you're going to get a lot of the sidebar information that for me really helps me grow too. So that's it. They do care. They want to know. You guys are the up and coming leaders. Like, we want to fill the top. There's plenty of room up there. So they want to know, how can they help you guys get there faster and do better, do more, and give more, just like what we do. So I appreciate you doing that. So I'm excited to see who's going to be the next special guest at the events that we do. But kind of the last thing. So we kind of went over belief. So you guys heard that a lot. Results, again, make sure that you do that. How do we get our product? I would absolutely make sure that you have your ADBV auto ship on so that you're getting the result or the products that you use every month. This was something too that stood out to me, is we don't talk about it, but we use cleanser and toner every single day. So if you're new and you're like, how can I replace some product and buy it from my own business? That was something that me and Joel, we already bought face wash before It Works, right? We just switched over to our brand, and it's amazing. And why not purchase from yourself and make yourself money? So you know what, if that's an easy switch, I would absolutely do that. Like that's a good thing that we can be talking about to new distributors is, hey, you know, if you already use a face wash, why don't you just switch over to ours? Because now you're going to get paid to do that. Talking about taking care of our loyal customers. We should be recruiting those every single month, not just stop, making sure that we're in communication, seeing if they can send over before and afters and comments and stuff to us on that. Amanda, thank you for sharing on social, because I think that it is a social world that we live in. And so it is, how do we utilize that and really maximize social media? Mindset, that was a huge thing that we talked about over the weekend. And Joel's quote, and you can say what it was, but everybody loved it. So share it. You're not a goal. Come on, check out.
You have to not be goal oriented. You have to be growth oriented. And a perfect example of why is because, just like Amanda said, and like Rachel said, and like Amy said, and like Patrice said, when you are goal oriented, you hit that goal. What's next? If you don't have something lined up, you stall out. With growth orientation, there is no finish line. So for the perfect example for how our business works, you need to look week over week, day over day, month over month, and then year over year. Are you outgrowing what you did the week before? Are you outgrowing the month that you had before? And then are you outgrowing the year before? And if you can continue to grow, you will always be in the success category, because of the fact that with growth comes success. With goals, sometimes comes misses and failures, which causes people to go down the complete opposite path. So if you miss a goal, all of a sudden you get frustrated and you give up. But when you know that you're on a growth path, it's just a part of what you're going through, which means you can just keep plowing through until you get to the end. And when you get to the end of growth, should be the day that you die, because you should be growing all the way until then.
The other thing that we didn't really go over, but we'll quick go over, is the 5-minute presentation. You guys can go on Connect, make sure that you have your app set up so that you have the Connect app.
I got a secret about that here in a second.
Okay. And then also you can, I think it's in the eSuite as well, but make sure that you print that out. And I challenge you, you're all local. Why don't you go talk to waitresses, actually talk to physical people or friends in your area that you've never talked to about the business? Or maybe you decide, you know what, I want to challenge myself to invite 5 people and I'm going to do a presentation and I'm going to show them this. Print it out and walk through it. You don't have to do it on slides on the computer, because that might not work for me. I'd have to probably do it, but just say, hey, I want to practice a presentation that I'm part of, and they may want to join you in this. So that's a great thing to do, is challenge yourself on who could you invite to do that. And then, of course, we got the steps to success. This is the key part. It's our map. It's the foundation that you do this over and over, gets you all the way to the top. So, there's no secrets. We just shared everything. It's, having the right mindset, making sure that you're being consistent, messaging 50 to 100 people a day, adding new friends, making the connection, and then talking about the business and the products and being the best results. But with that, steps to success, you join, $80 auto ship, 4 loyal customers, 3 distributors, and go Ruby with 2,000 in volume, and you get a $3,000 or $1,000 guarantee. So that's something that, is so simple that we can teach all around the world. So if you can do Ruby, you can do any one of these ranks in our company. And I love that about this, because it's so simple. Like we can actually just like fall asleep and just think about that. So steps to success, I want you to make sure that you can do it again this week. So why don't you do a full steps to success in the next 6 days? Like, I believe that you can do that. So challenge yourself to get a distributor a day and a loyal customer a day. I mean, I know you can do more, but for some, you need to be told like a goal to do. And so that's something that, yes, do that, because some of you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, you're not even going to do it. So I would really make sure that you know exactly where you're headed. If you need help, make sure you reach out to the person that enrolled you. I know some of you I've enrolled, and I see your faces, and I'm sure I'll get messages like, help me push this the month end. But that's what I'm here for. And our team pages are for. So make sure you're doing that. But that was really it. I mean, it was a lot. Make sure that you go and rewatch that.
So 2 action steps. 1, go get it. Rewatch it. Write down many notes. Watch it again. 2, make sure you tune in next week. We're going to have special guests that are going to walk through the Connect app with us. So for all of you wondering how to use your Connect app, make sure that you come on, you join on something different so that you have your phone in your hand so you can walk through the steps of how to use the Connect app so that you can blow up this business just from the palm of your hand.
I want to thank you guys for jumping on kind of last minute. We threw it up, but this Sunday we're going to do Sunday night again. We're going to go back to Sunday nights because my West Coast girls just cannot get on, or, all anywhere around the world. So 9 o'clock this coming Sunday, we'll be on back to our normal Zoom times. But Patrice, thank you for being on. I appreciate you so much. Rachel, thank you. My little cat lady, crazy cat lady. She is crazy cat lady. I'm being serious. I'm super excited for you, and thank you for being on. Amanda and Amy, you girls know that I just love you all so much, and every one of you, I love you all so much. So I'm cheering you on. I know there's going to be a lot of promotions, and I can't wait to celebrate you and see you on Sunday night. All right. Well, have a good weekend, guys.
Crush the end of the month, guys. We'll see you later.